Hello everyone, how are you today? In this video we're gonna talk about how we can get wider mixes without using delay or stereo wideners. I know it seems crazy at first, but I've got something for you that I feel like that you're gonna like it. So, when we're listening to the commercial tracks, have you ever noticed how the instruments that were panned dead center, for example, we've got dead center here, left, right, something along in the middle, and dead center, or zero. So I'm gonna call this dead center using recording software or those. It doesn't matter if you have Ableton or Cubase, it's the same thing. I'm gonna call this the digital center, and I'm gonna call the pros center the analog center. Why? Let me show you something that you're gonna really like it. First, we've got the NLS plugin from Waves. This is an analog console emulation. What this does, it's emulate three famous consoles, the SSL, the EMI, and the Neve. I've got a link below in the description in case you missed the first part of this video, because I'm talking about the drive and the general, settings here. So, now we're gonna talk about stereo and dual mono. What this stereo does, dual mono is using two separate channels. Even if you feed something in mono, if you change the channel in stereo or in Cubase, you need to have stereo in Cubase and in Pro Tools, not mono, or else it's not gonna work. If you've got a stereo track and if you've recorded something in mono and then converted to stereo, this dual mono thing is gonna add the characteristics of the console and the color of the console, okay, but also add a separate signal here and a separate signal here. The stereo track is gonna disable the dual mono. It is gonna act like the digital realm, dead center. To better help you understand what this does is to put, let me remove this, is to put this phase meter here and check what happens when I'm playing with the drive in stereo and in dual mono. So can you feel this? Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? And let me play this again for you in stereo. Bam! Look at it. Pay attention to the coloration here. So, as you can see here, the dual mono emulates what this console does in real life, and the harder you drive the drive, yeah, the less coloration you have here. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but when I've downloaded stems from commercial songs, the correlation was between 0.95 to 0.99. The coloration in our DAWs, when it's full mono, it's 1, it's dead center, like this. So the stereo track is, if you're afraid what this does into your coloration, just hit stereo, and you're fine. You're gonna only get the color of the console. But I really love the dual mono because it acts like I really have a real analog console in my DAW, and it's not this sender, this analog sender that we're talking about. It's not huge. There's not a huge difference, right? It's not the same as using delay, or it's not the same like using the S1, from example, from Waves. Check this out. Because yeah, this one. This one, it's cool. Yeah, it's something nice to use for different purposes and for effects especially. But it's more aggressive and it's less natural to my ears. Well, I love using this S1 imager on my delays or on my reverbs, on my reverb channels, not in the source sounds. It adds something cool to the sound. But if I want to make my dead sender tracks from digital sender to analog sender, I feel like that Waves did a pretty nice job in this one. Not only they give you the colors of the sound, not only they take out the coldness of the digital recording software, but also they give you the opportunity to add this wideness to your tracks, like your own real analog console. And I know that I sound like a fanboy right now from Waves. Actually, I don't. I'm a Slate Digital fanboy. but I believe that each company has its own flaws and its own benefits, right? Just take this plugin, Chai Dual Mono, and when you're driving the signal, I highly recommend you to put a correlation plugin and check out how far you're going. Around 0.95 and 0.99. That's only for a single track, okay? And the commercial tracks, when you put a phase meter during mastering, you can also download an MP3 or WAV file from YouTube and just load it up and check out the phase meter. The phase meter will write around 0.50 to 0.60. That's usually something commercial, according to the commercial correlation settings. So you've got something to test out with this video. You can convert your cold digital realm to a real warm analog realm and make your mixes wider. That's all about from me, and have a nice day. Feel free to subscribe, and bye bye.